Hi guys, Mr. Prince here. So recently, just yesterday and today, I watched Merlin after like 8 years, and I want to give you an opinion on it. Let's get started.
In a land of myth and a time of magic, the destiny of a great kingdom rests on the shoulders of a young boy. His name, Merlin.
Alright, just a bit of background. Merlin was a series about the sorcerer Merlin, who was a boy who had a great destiny to serve Otto and to help Otto in uniting the lands of Albion, and which ran for 5 seasons and ended in 2012. So back then I watched it and it was quite enjoyable, though the ending was like I say disappointing, as most fantasies seems to be having that trend of, or I guess most stories, most long running series have that trend of having a great story at the beginning, but towards the end they don't really know how to end it and to perfectly tie each arc. I really hope by the series I'm following currently, all the Linux series, they don't do that, especially One Piece, because but I don't feel old I would do that. But they have this trend of doing that. They just bottle things up. The reason why Merlin is mostly despised, not because Otto died, but mostly because everything that happened to him could have easily been prevented. It was just bad writing. My issue with the story was not the fact that Otto died, it was the fact that it was just bad writing. But the story was a great watch, and I rewatched it, and then it was really really lovely to rewatch. Okay, let me talk about story and acting. It is quite early days to tell. I've only watched the first 3 episodes to tell much about the if the story is I'm still going to enjoy the story based on what it is. But I remember I did enjoy the story very well. But I'm trying to see if it still holds up to today's standard, and let me say, like in this vast world, even with fantasies are getting budgets of like 200 million, still to get 200 million. I'm trying to see if it still holds on to that. So far it's going on steady and good, and I quite love it. And I also enjoy the fact that in the story too, but those things are not in the story. Magic isn't overpowered. It is quite reasonable in the story. It isn't like if you are instantly a magician, you are like invincible. There's still a role of swords in this stuff. You have to be. It takes a while for magic to chant, just like in the way most like fantasy games in which the magician stays behind or the sorcerer stays behind, while he has like spell chanting at the back, which is nice. You're not just instantly like Klein or Seeker, which is very funny. Is that if you are not the seeker, you're not a seeker who has the sword of truth, there's really no reason why you carry around a sword for fighting against a wizard, because just and then everybody is burnt to a crisp. Uh, Also, that the series has some soft comedy.
Who are you? I'm Merlin. Who the son? Yes. But you're not meant to be here till Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Ah.
Not like comedy that will make you bust out in laughter, but it's comedy that you just sneak and be like, okay, that's really pretty funny. They have banters, and it keeps the story interesting. That's like common series right now in which that they have to put in jokes at inappropriate time. The jokes aren't, let me say, they aren't that funny. They're not okay. Not that funny that you probably like. Okay, let me meme this and them that. But they still keep the story quite lively and engaging. They show you the interaction with these characters.
I hope so. One day. Not that I'd want to be her. Who'd want to marry Arthur?
Oh, come on. I thought you liked those real rough, tough, save the world kind of men.
No, I like much more ordinary men like you.
Gwen, believe me, I'm not ordinary.
No, I didn't mean you. Obviously, not you. But just, I like much more ordinary men. Like you.
Thanks.
There's also the action. The action is quite okay, but it's in your face. I guess it's 2012, but then again, I don't know the timeline of most of the acting stuff, but they do this stuff in with that. They do they have like this lovely panel where they fight. But when time they get to the meat and gritty action, they just put the sword is like in your face, and then they use like all these editing techniques to just chop everything out of the way, which was really weird. And it didn't really make me enjoy it. I'm not really looking forward to the action in the series anymore. I'm just looking forward to how much trouble Merlin can get to. So I'm trying to go down memory lane. Visuals. The visuals are quite is quite nice. At least the cinematography is quite decent. The only issue I have with the CGI, it's quite distracting. Especially like when the dragon comes in place. I don't know. I get like weird crayfish cravings, and I see the dragon. I'm like, I just get hungry. I don't know. I feel that's weird. But like, especially when Merlin and the dragon stands and you see the dragon's face, it's just so obvious. I don't know why I thought back then. I used to think that the dragon looked real, but now looking at it, it's a little bit on the nose. But it's not as bad CGI. Actually, it's decent for a TV series. Even if a current day TV series does this, I guess most people will forgive it. A bit of banter that I might ask. Why do people travel in Merlin? Which is because I just had to ask this question. I find it very weird why people travel in Merlin. Like if you travel from one point to another point, or coming from outside of Camelot to Camelot, they would either get ambushed by bandits, or you get killed. It doesn't like a safe option, and I don't really see them doing anything about it. The story doesn't really tackle it as far as I can remember. I've not actually watched anything about it. I remember that several times that Otto and Benny get attacked by bandits. Another banter I want to also add again is, how large is Camelot? Like, how large is the lands of Camelot? We know there is the castle Camelot, and then there is the surrounding villages. But how large is it, and how rich are they? Because they don't really talk about this thing. Which, if you've ever played any grand strategy game like I have, like Crusader Kings, you know that the castle is just an holding in the land. Where how far is the land and the region of Camelot? Because it's like if they are invading, they're always invading Camelot, which is supposed to be like the capital. So, like, which land constitutes as Camelot's borders? Those kind of things are not really talked about. If Camelot's supposed to be like in Britain, and let's say Albion is supposed to be Britain, where exactly are they could have at least done this. Though I know that the budget is small, they have to keep it in Camelot, but they could at least told us how large or how rich or how wild Camelot is. Because if Merlin is supposed to be in a village, I think the village Merlin is coming from is under Camelot. So I don't know why that stuff is to be choppy. So what constitutes progress and spell? In episode 2, Merlin was learning about last spell, and he was practicing day and night to try and get the spell, and then he got the spell at one point in time and then instantly knew it. What constitutes knowing a spell? Is it like, did you make a progress or something, or when you practice it enough you just know it? Harry Potter is vague, but at least the spell, first of all, you have to get the right amount of magic, and then you also have to get the correct pronunciation of the spell. You have to be like in the right mindset or in the right mood, or in some particular circumstance as you met, and anybody can perform a spell, and also based on your knowledge too. So I find it very weird that Merlin does not really, there's nothing that really constitutes when you know a spell. Basically they can just do, you didn't just know the spell. They never really explained that. Let me end my banter here. Alright, this video has gone longer than I thought it would, so I would like to end the video here, but you can get the part 2, which I delve more about theories of Merlin there, of how the series could have gone, which is available right now. Check the link in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and share this video with a friend or any other person who you think might like to pick up Merlin. It's great to rewatch, or you can pick it up if fantasy is something that tickles your fancy. But if you're not much of a fantasy fan, then I advise you watch something else. Thank you.